you not from my normal studio space, but from the hotel room where I've been staying in Hobart. So who's heard of Hobart? I don't think I have before today. But I was at a Stampin' Up gathering of just demonstrators, and I thought I would share some of the things we did today. And this stack I'll come back to. These were the swaps we did tonight. And some of what we did during the day was network together. We were able to get our hands on some new products and experience a new kit and illustrations from other demos of some of the new products that are coming in just a few days. So this is a new kit, the Share a Smile kit. These are all note cards. You get to make these 8 cards, the fun envelopes, and there's a box to put them all in. So you could either gift them or just store them. And let me just show you how cute they are. So here's the envelopes. And I may end up cutting these apart to make other cards. You can see that design goes all the way through the entirety of the inside of the envelope. Here's a few of the card bases. These, I think what I'm going to do is split them down the middle and put them on some other card bases, all right, so that I can extend how many cards I get out of this kit. So there's one with an archway. This is one with a little postage kind of stamp on it. Sunburst. And this plaid I really liked. So this is a Timid Tiger, new color. And this has got to be our Darling Duckling. This is the box. I didn't put it together because I have to pack it and I didn't want it to get crushed. So I'm going to just keep that ready to put together. But this kit comes with everything you need in the box. The adhesives you need, the dimensionals you need. It comes with tear and tape. And you can see on this box, the adhesive is already applied to where you need to have it to put that box together. So that's pretty fun, quick and easy. So this is one of the cards I made. This is actually the first one I made because I really thought that bicycle was cute. But it's all just die cut elements that come in the kit. All you have to do is punch them out. And it comes with actually several of the other languages in here. Now, German and French is my guess. Obviously, since I'm not going to use these on my card, I can use the backs or let my granddaughter use the backs to put some other sentiments to use for other cards. They came with these little elements too. You can see how shimmery they are. So they're glossy. And I thought at first they were stickers, but they're not. They're just punch out pieces that you put your dimensionals or glue on. So those were used on some of the cards that I've done. Thought this one was cute too. I like the pieces where they've got the notebook tear out piece in there. But you don't have to cut anything out. All you have to do is punch them out. That one was cute. And then the sunflower one. Just so simple, but should have a lot of impact. And then here's some of the other elements that I didn't use yet because I only did 4 of the cards. And some of the sentiments that we'll use. This little koala guy. No, that's not a koala. A sloth. Hang in there. So I thought that was really cute. So I'm going to put those together probably after I get home. We got some of these gold sequin. There, I guess it stays in focus better if I leave it down. But they're pretty nice. They would make good shaker cards or just elements on a card. So they don't have the hole in the center like some sequins do, so they're just going to be solid. All right, so those will be good. And it's not quite like glitter, because glitter makes me a little crazy if you know me. So let's take a look at some of the swaps we did. So after we had a whole day together, we broke for dinner and then went back for a shoebox swap. And that ran from 7 until 10. So with the shoebox swap, what happens is you design a card, you prepare all of the pieces, and then each person who wants to make your card takes those pieces and they make the card per the sample that you've provided. All right. So our assignment was to bring 10 cards ready to go, and then you go away with 10 cards. So you have your sample and 10 cards, and then you make 10 cards of somebody else's thing. So these were some of the cards that were there. There were probably, I don't know, 30-ish cards to choose from. So I was able to find 9 of them. I think we got back a little late from dinner because our restaurant was kind of slow, but the food was incredibly good. So I only made 9 swaps, which is not a big deal. But this one I thought was very pretty, and I have the things to make this one. I love the dies that cut these edges, and I just used those dies the other day and I can't remember what they're called. All right, so that's the inside of that card. This one was pretty. Well, they're all pretty, but this is a little more dainty, I guess. Very nice. So somebody else designed the card, cut all the pieces, and then I was able to do all of the stamping and put it together because, you know, Stampin' Up! Has a rule. We're not supposed to stamp for anybody else. It kind of goes for demo stamping for us, too. We should be doing our own stamping. So some of these sets I have and some of them I don't. If there's die cuts that need to be done or the embossing things that need to be done, like this dry embossing here with an embossing folder, that we usually do ahead of time, okay? So this one doesn't have anything on the inside. And then this one, this was pretty fun. I don't have this set yet, but I think I have to get it. I like nautical things, but the cool thing about this, it's a technique that I kind of forget about and I don't use it very often. We used craft white paint, or ink rather, and used just a Q-tip to pick up some of that craft white ink and then brushed it across where these parts are raised from the embossing folder. All right, now the instructions said to just do it on the clouds, but I also did it on the water because I thought it gave a really nice effect, like the waves coming in. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then this one, I do have the elements to make this, and I haven't done any of these flowers yet where you die cut the pieces and then put them together to create that texture or that depth on the flowers. So that was my first time actually playing with those. And then I'll take many of these. You can see I didn't have any gems on them. Now, oh, this one does have pieces for the inside, but I didn't finish those. And this one does too. I guess I forgot to look at that one. So that one has a sentiment inside also. But one of them, like this one, has the butterflies on the front. Some of them, the elements were there for the embellishments. I just didn't use them because I have my own at home. So I just didn't spend the time to take them with. So those are those cards. And then I have 4 cards that are not quite finished. So this one, there were 2 color options. The in color, I think it was probably Summer Splash, is what ink was there. But some of the card kits were a different color, and I got this one that's pretty in pink, and that ink color wasn't there. So I'm just going to take it home and finish that. So this little leaf piece here, I'll have to attach, and that white sentiment piece, I'll put some sentiment on and then put them together. All right, so that's another one. And then this one, I need to finish putting together as well and stamp a sentiment on. I don't remember. Somebody else was probably working on it at the same time as me, and I didn't want to take the time to stamp the sentiment because I have plenty of sentiments at home that I can work with. But these were all pieces of paper from some new paper that's coming out, or an online exclusive paper. I don't remember which. But I'll have to affix those all down. Now, the gal that designed this had just 3 pieces of designer series paper that were like an inch, I think, probably wide. And I cut 2 of my strips in half so that I could give just a little bit more dimension to this. And then I ended up, this piece here that was wide, I actually cut it in half so that I could split it on my card and just give a little bit more depth. So the framing will get glued down, and then the centerpiece, once the sentiment is on it, will get raised on dimensionals. All right, and then we have this cute as can be card. Now you can see that I haven't attached my bee down. Everything else is done on this, except for the antenna, because I have some little beaded ones that I think I got from Amazon actually, that I'm going to add to my bee, and I think it'll just give it a little bit more of a fun look. And that didn't come with anything for the inside. So there's that one. And then the last one that I have is this one. Now this is a really fun zipper set. And I didn't get it in the pre-order, but I'm thinking I will need to get it maybe with one of my next orders. And I didn't finish this because this piece, I glued it on the side that looked to be the back side. Well, there's two back sides here. So I will not affix this one. I put the glue on the wrong side before I looked at the pieces. And I'll just cut out a piece to put that other pocket on there. And then I'll put more of the gems on there. So those were the cards that we made. Now, I did see a demonstrator made a project using this zipper, but she had it turned this way, and she made like a pup tent for camping out of it, a 3D item that I thought was absolutely adorable. So I might have to get this bundle sooner rather than later. And then the last thing is, this was my swap card, and it's actually a card that stands up because it's kind of an easel. And I've seen people do this with like the calendar on the front, and then maybe a note piece on the back, you know, for your sentiment. But I used one of the dies. It's an oval die, and it cuts out this decorative stitching edge on it as well. So if you cut the entire oval, you get two pieces. You get this holes in the perforated section, and I think my video might have just frozen, I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep going just in case it's okay. But that's all one piece. I only die cut it on part of the card, and then I put the sentiment piece over it. So this was the one that I prepared for everybody to do as a swap. I die cut this out of the designer series paper. I die cut this, and then they just had to stamp their sentiment and cut it out. So that's all I have, and hopefully the video didn't die, but if it did, I apologize. This was the last project anyway. And until next time, happy stamping.